Okay, so you know how sometimes it feels like your job search is just like throwing spaghetti at a wall and hoping something sticks?
Yeah, I've been there.
Well, we're diving into something today that claims to be a total game changer in that department. Have you heard of RoleCatcher?
I have, actually. I've been hearing more and more about it.
They say they can help you cut through all that noise and, actually land that dream job.
It's interesting because it sounds like it's more than just your typical job board.
Right.
What's really got my attention is how they're using AI. And I don't just mean matching keywords, but actually trying to figure out what makes a successful candidate for a specific role.
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. But we're talking about actual careers here, not just like some tech demo, right?
Yeah.
So how does RoleCatcher bridge that gap from job description to you actually getting hired?
So a good place to start is with their career guides. They've actually put together some pretty in-depth guides for different roles, which is different from the usual vague descriptions you see. They even have one for a poultry catcher, which I thought was kind of interesting.
A poultry catcher. Um, okay, that's pretty specific. Like wrangling rogue chickens, is that a thing?
Yeah, exactly. And
Right.
I think that's the point, right? It's unexpected,
Yeah.
but it shows just how much detail they're willing to go into. I mean, if you're going this depth on something so niche,
Yeah.
imagine the kind of insights they have for more, common careers.
Makes sense.
And they really covered all daily tasks, career paths, even the pros and cons you usually don't see.
So it's like getting a backstage pass to a job before you even apply.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about the AI side of things. Everyone's throwing that term around these days. But how is RoleCatcher actually putting it to work?
I think it comes down to personalization. Their AI digs into job descriptions to figure out what skills and experience employers are really after. And like I said before, it's not just about keywords. It's about understanding the context.
Okay, I get that, but what does that mean for my resume? How does that help me get noticed and not just disappear into the black hole of online applications?
Right, and that's where their CV optimization comes in. It actually takes the guesswork out of tailoring your resume. So the AI compares your resume to the job description
Okay.
and then suggests specific things you can improve.
Huh.
Like maybe you're missing some keywords, or you need to rephrase something, or even add some achievements that are a better fit for what they're looking for.
So it's like having a recruiter in your back pocket saying, hey, tweak this or emphasize that.
Exactly. It's like having that extra set of eyes, that expert advice, but without having to, pay for a consultant.
That's pretty cool. I like it.
And it gets even better.
Yeah.
People always say to practice your interviewing skills.
Oh, yeah, the dreaded mock interview.
Right. Who wants to do that with their friends?
Yeah, you don't always get the best feedback.
Exactly. Well, RoleCatcher has AI-powered interview practice.
Okay, I'll be honest, that's where my skeptical side starts to kick in. How can an AI really replicate that pressure of a real interview?
I think that's a fair point.
Mm.
But here's the thing. They have this massive library of interview questions. We're talking over 120,000 questions.
Wow, okay, that's a lot of questions.
Right. And they're tailored to different roles and industries. So it's not just random questions.
Okay, but it's still just a computer program, right?
It is. But here's where it gets really interesting. The AI actually analyzes your responses.
Oh, wow.
And not just what you say, but how you say it. Like your pacing, your use of filler words.
Mm.
It's like having a coach who can point out those things you might not even realize you're doing that could be holding you back.
So instead of just getting a good job from your friend, you're
Yeah.
getting actual, constructive feedback on how to improve.
Exactly. It's about taking the subjectivity out of it and giving you data-driven insights to help you put your best foot forward. I don't think it's meant to replace that human interaction entirely, but it can give you a huge advantage.
This is what always gets me excited. I start off a little skeptical and then I'm like, wait a minute, this could actually be really useful.
It's pretty amazing what they can do with tech these days. But it's more than just the tech itself, right?
Yeah.
It's how RoleCatcher's putting it all together.
Okay, so what do you mean by that? How does this actually translate to like a better job search experience?
So imagine this. You're on RoleCatcher, and they're already pulling in job listings from all over the place, so you're not wasting time on a million different job boards.
Right.
You find something that looks interesting, but you're not sure if you're a perfect fit.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Instead of just crossing your fingers and applying anyway, you can actually use their tools to see how you stack up.
Oh, that's interesting.
So the AI looks at your profile, compares it to the job description, and it'll point out any gaps in your skills or experience.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's not just about applying to everything, it's about being strategic.
Exactly. And here's the best part. It doesn't just leave you hanging with that information. It actually connects you with resources.
Really?
Yeah, so think like online courses, workshops, even mentorship programs, whatever you might need to bridge those gaps.
So it's like having a career counselor built right into the platform.
Pretty much. And,
Extra.
it's not always about learning new stuff. Sometimes it's about how you talk about the skills you already have.
That's a good point.
RoleCatcher helps you figure out how to frame your experience in a way that'll really resonate with employers.
Okay, so the more we talk about this, the more it seems like they're really trying to, crack the code on this whole job search process. But let's be real for a second.
Sure.
We're talking about something pretty important here, our careers. So how much can we really trust this platform?
You're talking about the trust factor. I get it.
Yeah, it's like, how do we know this isn't just some black box algorithm making decisions for us?
Well, it's a valid concern,
Yeah.
but they're surprisingly transparent about how their AI works. Yeah, you can actually see the factors they're using to, score your CV.
Yeah.
And they explain the logic behind their recommendations. It's not just, do this because we said so.
So you're not left in the dark. That's good.
Exactly. They're putting the power back in your hands. You get to see the why behind the what.
Okay. I can get behind that. I like that level of transparency. A lot of companies could learn from that.
It's crucial, especially when you're talking about something as personal as your career.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. The career guides, the CV optimization, that AI-powered interview prep, and even those personalized recommendations for skills development.
It's a lot.
It is. I'm actually pretty impressed. It seems like RoleCatcher is really trying to change the game here.
Yeah, they're definitely aiming to redefine what a career platform can be. It's not just about connecting people with jobs anymore. It's about supporting you throughout your entire career journey.
Right, but at the end of the day, the big question is, does it actually work? Can RoleCatcher really deliver?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's got to work, right?
Right. Like they say, the proof is in the pudding.
Exactly. We can talk about all these cool features, but what really matters is if it actually helps people land jobs.
And that's where I think it gets really interesting for our listeners. Right?
Okay, I see where you're going with this. So you're saying this deep dive shouldn't just be about, passively listening. People should actually do something with this information.
Exactly. Take action, right? Think of this as like a springboard.
Oh, I like that.
We've given you the map, pointed out some interesting landmarks. Now it's up to you to go explore.
I'm all about that. So for anyone listening who's ready to maybe try something new, what would you say is the most compelling reason to give RoleCatcher a shot?
That's a good question. I think for me, it's that potential to switch from just, applying to every job you see to actually thinking about your career strategically.
Being proactive.
Exactly. It's about taking control, figuring out your strengths, and then, going after the right opportunities.
It's like becoming the CEO of your own career.
100%. And, no platform can promise you'll be a CEO tomorrow.
Right.
But I think RoleCatcher gives you the tools and the information to navigate this crazy job market.
And maybe, just maybe, land that dream job.
You got it.
Well, I gotta say, I started this deep dive with some doubts, but I'm genuinely excited about the potential here. It's not every day you see this kind of tech combined with actual, career guidance.
I know, it's about time.
Right.
And that's what's really cool about it. It's not about replacing us with robots. It's about giving us the tools to be even better.
Beautifully said. So to wrap things up, for anyone out there who's feeling stuck or just curious about what else is out there, hopefully this has given you something to think about.
Definitely. Go out there and make it happen.
I love it. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive on RoleCatcher. As always, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.